Hi and welcome. This guide is focused on laning with Vyper, but if you want to see how I play mid or in-game with her, let me know, leave a comment. Now I'll caveat this with that this is how I play Vyper, and this works for me in Emissary and Archon games. I know it isn't necessarily top level Eternus, but and I still have more to learn from the macro level, but I've been asked how I play and my decision making process around Vyper. And since she's a little bit different than other characters, I figured I would make this guide. I want to make it so that this can also be relevant as the game changes over time. Um, and I have over a 50% win rate with her. My build ID will be in the description of the video, but I will also show it at the end so that you can see what are the main items that I build, along with, in case the build ID does ever go away, it'll at least be in the format of the video. I won't go into different aspects of the build in this video, but if you do want to see kind of what I choose to build and how I try to make builds, let me know and I will make a video for that as well, because I like to mix things up and experiment and try things. Initially, before the item rework, I was playing Vyper to try to max her Venom and play her a little bit differently than what she would normally be played with her gun. Mainly with every character, you should have some core items that you kind of like to get and you should aim to get for in every game. So for example, Vyper benefits from sliding distance items, so Fleet Foot or Burst Fire are always good choices. I personally always buy Burst Fire, but I don't buy Fleet Foot every game. I also change some things with Vyper, so I have two key bindings that are different for her. One thing that I have is on toggle slide. I have it bound instead of crouch slide. I have it to toggleable. That way you can press it once and it will continue to slide so that you don't have to continuously hold crouch button while sliding, which leaves your hands open up to more buttons and a little bit more smoother aiming. The other thing that I have is that I have Venom set to instacast. This lets you cast Venom while sliding, so you don't have to press the button and then confirm it again. And instead, this is just based off of who you're looking at. You can press the button and it will cast instantly. Okay, all right. So at the beginning of the game, some of the first thing that you should do is look at team composition for this. And for Vyper, you should try to recognize if it's a bad matchup or if you personally struggle against those characters. And then if so, try requesting someone else on your team if you can swap. So for example, at least for Vyper, Last Gen Dynamo can be difficult to lane against because they're knock up when Slam or Dynamo's knock up wave. Or for Bebop, his grab is a little bit easier whenever you're sliding because you're more predictable. And then you can also think of what items you might need to buy in your game so that you can counter them to make them weaker, or what items that you should buy to protect yourself. So if they have heavy gun characters, disarming hex is always good so that you can stop them from shooting, or having a silence like silence wave is nice because then you can stop them from using their abilities. So Vyper has lower health than other characters, especially other gun characters. So when you engage, you need to try to burst down. Your objective is to try to burst down their health as quick as you can. All right. When you're laning, you do need to try to take out the flag character first. This lets the healing minion, right? So that helps stop the enemy team from lasting longer in the fight with their health. So that's the main one that you should try to target. And then you want to try to focus on denying souls and then damage the enemy when you can. At a long distance, damaging the enemy doesn't do a whole lot, so doing the minions or denying souls should take priority. Now if they're closer, or if you're closer to them, target the enemy. You have unlimited gun ammo as long as you can reload, so there's no need to worry about a cooldown. But remember that you need to try to objective souls currency is the main thing that you need to get an advantage. When I get my starting items, the main two that I look for in the current items ways is either sprint boosts, or I look to try to get opening rounds. I like sprint boots because I like to get boxes and gold statues so that I can get stats. I like to try to snowball with stats when I can. So sprints with getting sprint boots can help out with that because you can go those things quick. Especially in the middle, you can do that a little bit easier because there's a little bit closer boxes. And I like getting opening rounds because opening rounds does quite a bit of damage if they're over 50% health, and it offers spirit power. And venom in the early game is very strong because of the lower health pools. You can execute them quicker because you're more likely to execute them if you can get them to half health. So opening rounds helps out with both of them. Now, whenever you have your ultimate, it actually gives you, especially before the enemy, it gives you an extra ability that you can normally punish them pretty strongly with, because that extra ability can turn the tide of the laning at the beginning of the phase. So it's good for either finishing them off, putting them in place, or then letting you put your venom on them while they're in place. Or if there's certain characters that have constant abilities that they can cancel, like 7 Stormcloud or Bebop's ultimate, like Bebop's charge, then you should saving Petrify for that can be good because it can knock them out of their stun. Once bridge buffs are up, you should try to move your way to them. Either let your lane partner know that you're going, or if you see the enemy going over there, call it out too, because the bridge buffs are really strong at the beginning and they can help and that's something that can help you win your lane. When you don't have any enemy waves near you, what you should then look for, if you can get it in time, is looking for neutrals like this, where you can destroy them in time and then come back to the minion wave, or get boxes so that you don't miss out on the souls from the minions and still getting soul currency. Once this kind of been going and you kind of establish either your build or your general flow of your lane, you just need to continue doing the same thing. Look by pushing your waves. Yeah, we're not doing that one. That's lame. Since I lost my lane partner here, you need to play a little bit smarter. Again, since Vyper's a little bit squishier, she can get punished really easily. So you need to play around your Guardian whenever you need to, or if you're getting pressured pretty hard. So since Lash died and he's coming back now, I have to play back a little bit farther, even if I could possibly be a little more aggressive. And then using there, like I said, Petrify can be used really good to secure the kill at the beginning of the game instead of just interrupting their ultimate. At the moment, in the way that the game is currently set up, because they have changed it, the 8-minute marker is when gold statues spawn. And in case you didn't know, gold statues give you passive stats if you hit it at the right moment. So you need to be aware of that time so that you can try and go get the slot machine for you or your teammate. And then even better is if you can deny the enemy from their slot machine. So you can see that Lash is one over here, and he went to get ours. So he's the one that went and got the slot machine for those passive there. Technically, the laning phase ends at 9 minutes. So even if you're still in your lane and you don't have anything secured yet, and you're still fighting around your Guardians, just continue playing the same way that you've been until you your team gets the advantage like we have here, and then can press up the wave into the Guardian, or into your team can rotate around. And at the extreme case, if you end up already losing your lane, then you need to play around and trying to be either being proactive and getting souls at your side, or in one team member helping out another lane, or you being that person to go to another lane while you leave the other person to maintain your lane. But that's roughly how I lane with Vyper. So this is the build that I've currently been using for Vyper. I personally like using Mercurial, so I include it. But like I said, I try to maintain a general core items that I aim for mostly in every game. And in this case, I've been going for Point Blank, Burst Fire, and Intensifying Magazine as the main 3 gun ones with fire rate. And then I get Mercurial just for the spirit boost that can make my Venom do a little bit more damage. And then I definitely buy a tier 3 item, whether it's Silence, Knockdown, or Disarming. Occasionally I'll get Decay, but not too frequently. But the main 3 that I get are these 3 here. And then I just have the barriers down here as they're mainly for reminders. I most of the time end up going through the actual tabs for, you know, either a counter item or for resistance. But these are for my quick ones that I'm like, what is my thing that I need to resist this thing? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's that. And then, or like, what's the spirit one? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I need the tier 3 version instead, or Spellbreaker, etc. Because I don't have Spellbreaker down here. And then I have Debuff Remover, because Debuff Remover, as the enemy team buys CC to stop you, like Knockdown, 7 Stun, etc. Or Disarming. You're just gonna need a debuff remover, and that's why I almost every build I have it included. But these flex ones, I have been rotating and trying them out. Split shot, I know is kind of like items, but if they end up grouping a lot together, split shot seems to go well with Mercurial, so I like to have it just there. But I know that there's better tier 2, or even just saving up for an extra 1600, a tier 3 at that point, and just getting those ones. But I just kind of leave the ones that I normally kind of get up here, just for quick, like I said, the main quick ones that I normally play with. Granted, depending on the soul currency, kind of hard on getting multiple tier 4s, but I just have them for quick references if it's more of the heat of the moment. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know down below if you enjoy that.